Hello, I'm. Do I speak into this? Okay. Hi, like, what a stupid quote, like, as if it's going to be, like, in my ear. I'm Matthew Newton. I play Aiden.
I'm Jennifer Harlow. I'm the writer-director.
I'm Lindsay Burge, and I play Lily in The Sideways Light.
The Sideways Light.
Very fun, interesting Lily, by the way. Yeah. I'm curious, where did this story come from? Where did this tale, begin for you, Jennifer?
It started with a little bit of personal experience, having had some family members that had dementia and having the sort of surreal experience of living with somebody in an altered state of mind. And then when it was time to write a script, that, your life kind of creeps into your work. And on top of that, I just wanted to write a ghost story because I've always, since I was a little girl, been like, ooh, ghosts. So I just put those things in the pot and mixed it up, and out came The Sideways Light.
Wow. Lindsay, what attracted you to this role? Because it's a dicey character. There's a lot going on for her.
Yeah, I was drawn in by, I also have some personal experience with people when they're moving towards the next plane, and so I was excited to see that explored, and also the mother-daughter relationship is really interesting to me. It's definitely one of the relationships in my life that I find most complex and interesting, so that was exciting for me to explore. And I love anything that tries to investigate these sort of the in-between spaces and the melding of the spirit with this reality, or whatever this is.
What?
Don't worry,
I deny the existence of reality.
She doesn't know about this.
What's she talking about?
Well, I'm curious then, what was the shoot like? Was it a quick shoot?
It was not a quick shoot. It was 21 days, but we actually took weekends. So we were here for a month, or I'm always here, but they were here for a month. It was like, 6 days on, 2 days off, 6 days on, 2 days off, 5 days on, 1 day off, something like that. Anyway, so it took 30 days basically before they were allowed to go home.
How do y'all ramp up for that? Like, how do you keep that fire going as the director? You've got to keep everyone focused. And then for you guys, what was that like coming in after Little Bitty Birds? Like getting to know the character maybe even deeper. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it was a pretty laid-back set, and maybe that's how we sustained it. I don't know. Anytime you shoot a feature, it's like you just know going in, this is what I have to do. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And just buckle down, do it.
Yeah, it's funny because the rehearsal isn't something that exists very much for independent film anymore. So you just sort of jump in and you're just crossing your fingers and praying at the beginning, and then gradually it starts to, seep into you and grow. And then you get the little weekends and it gets better and better, I think, as it goes along. And then it was fun because then Matthew joined us probably into the third week or something like that. And so at that point we already had our rhythm going, and I think that was good because he's supposed to be this outsider, so it was smart scheduling on the part of everybody to do that.
Yeah, it was interesting because Jen, she really knows how to. Well, she's inspiring, which fills you with energy, but also doesn't expend energy where she doesn't need to. So I think there's a great sense of ease that she brings to the set, and that just allows you to kind of, turn on the focus between action and cut. I think a lot of, some experiences I've had, there's a lot of energy that gets expended in ways like, there's a lot of acting that goes on outside of the actual takes. Like you're trying to motivate yourself and deal with stuff. Jen's really good at just setting up a set and just sort of allowing people to do what they do. And inspiring you to contribute too. That was one of the great things, which is always energizing as well.
I'm curious, were there any weird moments on set, ghost moments? Spooky
Yes,
things?
there were. I don't know if you really remember this. One of the main things that kept happening to me was and maybe it was fatigue. That's kind of an altered state or whatever. But one of the things that happened to me at least 3 times was specifically in the living room downstairs. I would just see something out of the corner of my eye, and I would look, and there was nothing there. But it was like a glint of light. And the people that own the house, it's like a 160-year-old house. The people that own the house, she asked me, she's like, have you guys seen anything? And I told her what I'd seen, and she said, oh yeah, that's whatever her name was, Louise, or like one of the previous owners of the house had died in the house, and in the old days, people used to be laid out in their own home. So she said that's where she was laid out, was in that room, and she said, I see her all the time.
Also the attic. The attic was where in the movie a lot of the sort of spooky stuff happens, and I mean I didn't find myself going up there on my own too often.
I'm gonna go hang out in the attic.
There was a cat too, this really sweet cat named Doe, right? Dog Ugly? Dog Do. I'm really good at so smart this morning. And he had one eye, and I'm pretty sure that he was like communicating from probably another realm. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he was.
Absolutely.
He was. Right. Wait, you saw ghosts in the living room? I'm not allowed to.
A cat talking to you?
Now that's crazy. Now you're crazy, girl.
You have lost it.
No, but this house, this house also was like this house was amazing. I mean, like we were talking about this last night. Every creak that you hear in the movie was real. Like every step you took had the house had so much character of its own to relate to, and that was all just there already.
How much of the script had to be changed because of the house? Like, did anything drastic move around?
A little bit, yeah. One of the major things we ended up having to change was the ending, because I had written the ending with a specific house in mind, but the way the attic was, I just realized it wasn't going to work. Like somebody was going to die, like literally die, because the stairway to the attic was. It was basically a ladder, like a 10-foot, about, almost vertical. So we had to change that a little bit so that we didn't really kill Annalie, who plays. Sorry, oops.
Yeah.
Can we cut that part out?
No, really cut that out.
Anyway, so the ending changed quite a bit.
I was really afraid I was going to die. I was like pretty sure I was going to die on that ladder. Yeah. And I was okay with it.
Yeah, I was glad that we had spent the money on liability insurance. So we can cut all of that out that I just said. And
me?
I will say that some of the best scenes were scenes that were written the night before. Like my 2 favorite scenes, which is these 2 on the street and they play a little game. Yeah. And a scene where Ruth and Lily are in the bathroom, and Ruth kind of makes a confession to Lily, and the confession scene came from the night before me talking to our cinematographer Jay Keitel, whose father also had dementia, and we just talked about conversations that we'd had. And I was like, oh my God, that has to be in the movie. We have to write that. So we threw that in the night before, and then the scene with them on the street came from me and Lindsay just playing a game in the dressing room, it wasn't really a game. It was actually a serious, like.
I think we were being quite serious.
It was like it was a pretty serious.
You reported it to me like it was very serious.
It was like we were having like a pretty serious moment, and like. Things happen in your life, and sometimes you just need to talk to somebody, but we talked silently.
Yeah,
we used telepathy.
Yeah,
and that's when we learned about how we're telepathic with each other.
Wait, so there's ghosts?
Yeah, don't
telepathy.
Worry, that's fine.
Telepathic.
And there's a cat.
Some cat. It's pretty kick-ass.
Yeah.
Or on another realm.
Well, also like not to
in a cinema near you.
Yeah, I feel like communicating telepathically is an important part of the actor-director relationship, at least for me.
It's true though. We got to there's one time where you walked up. I remember this. I thought I knew we were in sync because you went, cut, and you walked towards me, and I went, I know, and you went, okay, and you walked away. It's kind of nice when you have that. And you know, the great thing about working on an independent film like this is when you have, you know, you have a team like we had, led by Jen, is that, you know, things that happen, like little detours that happen, they become gifts. You know, and you go down those little alleys, and that's kind of what happened. Like, who was it? So, did you tell me about that game? I don't want to take. Did I say we should be? How did that then get in the scene?
I
can't remember how it happened.
I did it to you. I read your mind.
Oh, that's what you did.
And then you were like, "Well, that's what that scene should be." And I was like, "You're absolutely right. Let's make
Let's
make that scene."
I can't remember what question I asked. It's a really weird thing. You'll have to watch the film, but it's a really weird thing she does where you ask a question silently and she will give you an answer, and it's always right.
Yeah, it's like
gotta be yes or
a
no.
magic 8 ball.
Yeah. So you ask a question and she'll either say yes or no, and you literally go, "Oh my god, that's right."
It wasn't always yes or no. Sometimes it was more complex.
Yeah, it was like
Oh, it was too.
I would get really complex. Like, you actually yourself are not ready to face that issue.
Oh yeah, but we make it yes or no in the film, right? That's right. Yeah. I'll tell you later.
I'm curious, what's it like being able to showcase it here at Austin Film Festival, a writers' festival that showcases the talent and, you know, the work that y'all put into this?
I am flattered. And that's all. I mean, that's really, in a nutshell. I'll just flattering. It's flattering. I love playing on my home turf.
Mm-hmm.
What's it like for you guys? I mean, mini reunion. I mean,
Getting to come back and kind of celebrate the movie and showcase it to people. What are y'all looking forward to, and what are your, expectations for the folks? Like, what did y'all feel?
Yeah, last night was our premiere, and it was really exciting. It was the first time that I'd seen the finished film, and it looked beautiful. It was gigantic theater, this enormous screen, and it just looked so beautiful, and I was so proud of Jen, and it had come together so well. It's really nice for all of us to be here, and we miss our cohorts that can't be at the festival with us, but it was really a nice experience, and it seemed and the audiences here are so great and generous and lovely.
It's great because it's an Austin film too.
What's not to love?
Yeah, it's really cool. And Austin, we met at Austin a couple of years ago. I had a film that I came here, and Jen's. I had a film that I wrote and directed, and Jen's husband Mark, who's in the film and produced this film, had a film in the festival. So we all met, and Austin's sort of I feel like it's almost like a second spiritual home for me anyway. I feel a real connection to this city, particularly as a filmmaker.
Me too.
And so it's amazing to be here and present it at the Austin Film Festival, a film that was shot in Austin by an Austin filmmaker. It was a magical night last night. I was very proud of Jen and everything she achieved.
Where can we find out more information for the movie, and then each of you guys as well?
Sure. We have.
I feel like we both should hold the mic.
In stereo. thesidewayslight.com, on Twitter @sidewayslight, on facebook.com/sidewayslight, or jenniferharlow.com. What am I supposed to say? Lindsay's Luddite.
Just like 11.
Lindsay just learned about computers.
Computers are really fun.
You guys know about that?
You can put pictures on the Instagram, and you can put words on the Twitter, and on the Facebook you can put both. Yeah.
I like what you just said. I liked it.
Thank you. I like that too.
I think that's the best way to end it.